Hey everybody, and welcome back to another week of FrumGuyCooking, where this week we're going to be making 3 different dips. We're going to be starting off with tomato dip, and this is an incredibly simple dip. All you need is tomatoes, garlic, salt, oil, and the small food processor, or blender, or big food processor. Doesn't really matter. Go ahead and slice up your tomato into chunks, but you don't have to slice them too small because all the ingredients in this dip are going to be blended anyways. None of the dips require any cooking, which means less dishwashing for you and less changing of camera angles for me. Go ahead and just chop your garlic roughly. Again, everything is getting blended, so you just want to make sure that no large chunks of garlic wind up in the final dip. Good job! Go ahead and put all your ingredients that you have so far into your blender, or in this case, mini food processor. Throw down a little bit of oil, maybe about half a tablespoon, maybe a little more, doesn't have to be exact, and just pulse away. And as you pulse, of course, eventually things will break down, and the tomato dip will start to puree. Once the tomato dip is mostly pureed, just shake a few shakes of salt into the tomato dip, maybe about a quarter teaspoon, then just give it another mix, finish off the puree, and you're done. That's it. That's tomato dip. That is the exact tomato dip that you would buy in a store, and it's just 4 ingredients. Super easy, super tasty, and super delish. Next up is olive dip. Go ahead and get yourself an 8-ounce jar of pitted okay, these kind of olives, but really any green olive. Go ahead and open it up and yuck. Oh god, oh no, oh, I hate the smell of olives. I can't do this. I can't do this.
Hey there, I'm FrumGirlCooking, and what do we have here? A new jar of olives. I'm guessing that means FrumGuyCooking decided to make olive dip, but then remembered he doesn't like the taste of olives. I'm gonna make them anyway because I like them and so do a lot of our guests. Plus, it's a really easy recipe. First thing you want to do is empty the jar of olives and take them over to the sink to wash off some of that briny taste. I'll let them drain in the sink while we go deal with our other ingredient, the garlic. As was shown before, the garlic only needs to be roughly chopped because it will be cut into smaller pieces inside the food processor. So as you can see, I'm doing a pretty rough job. Let's put those aside and get our food processor. I like to put in the garlic first. The garlic adds a nice complementary flavor so that you're not only getting olive. Pulse that a few times to turn those rough pieces into smaller bits. Once the food processor has minced the garlic into smaller pieces, I'm going to add the olives and repeat the process so that they get the same treatment. I'm trying to fit all of my olives into this mini food processor. You can totally do this in 2 batches if needed. Give it a few good pulses. Let everything get broken into smaller pieces. After a while, my small blender gets stuck, so I have to push the pieces back down. You can do this as many times as you need. Give it a few more pulses until you like the size of your pieces. I like a rougher texture, but if you want to blend the olives to a smoother consistency, you can do so by letting your food processor run longer, and the dip will taste just as delicious. Transfer the chopped olives and garlic into a bigger mixing bowl. For this amount of olives, I'm going to use 2 heaping tablespoons of mayo. This is where you can adjust the measurements to your liking. I don't find that it needs any seasonings because the olives from the jar or a can are pretty salty as is, and I like the flavor profile of olives and garlic. This is one of my favorite dips. I especially love to have olive dip on Leil Shabbos with a warm piece of my honey whole wheat challah. I hope that you enjoy this dip, and now I'll turn the counter back over to FrumGuy.
Okay, I'm back. Next up we're going to do hummus. What you want to do is go to Costco and buy a 2-pound container of Hannah's hummus. This hummus is the best hummus that I have found on this side of the Mediterranean. I'm sorry to say that you'll never make hummus this good at home, and at only $5.99 for 2 pounds? I'd say that's a pretty good bargain, provided that you already have a Costco card. I hope that you all have enjoyed the first few weeks of my cooking channel. This episode was a finale of sorts for dips. We're starting soups next week, doing a few weeks of those, and we'll see where it goes. And until next time, have a great week.